Okay, the furnace is not working. So everything has to work in a sequence. So we're going to start with the first item. We're going to check it out and go through each item, and then that'll tell us that what's not working. Okay, this is the gas valve right here. This is about $300, and we're hoping that it's not that. Okay. So what we do is the thermostat in the house, we change the batteries, make sure it's working good. Okay. Thermostat's going to talk to this control panel and tell the unit heat. It's going to put out heat. Okay. This inducer motor is going to come on for about a minute. Okay. It's got a vacuum line hooked to it, as you can see. And it goes to the safety valve. It's like a diaphragm safety valve, and it lets the unit know, lets the heater know that the induction motor is on and running. It's just a safety switch, and it lets it know through your box here. Okay, so right here, the next thing on the list, see these two blue wires right here? Got two blue wires and a black wire, and they go over here to the igniter and the thermocouple. Now the igniter kicks on. Okay, once the igniter kicks on, it goes, this wire tells us, lets us know through the thermocouple that it's got heat. Then the gas valve will open this little line here, which goes down and goes over here to the igniter and sends gas to light the pilot light. Once that's lit, okay, and of course it heats up. This, the gas valve will allow gas to come through and go to the burners there, and also the blower will kick on. Okay. Now, this right here is the limit switch. I disconnected, I was testing it out. The limit switch, it'll shut the unit off if the unit gets too hot, is what it does. So if your unit is shutting off, once it warms up, it could be the limit switch. I disconnected it, it goes up here, goes up under here, in a little thing. Okay, so first component is the thermostat. And we know it's working because this motor is coming on. Okay. Okay. Now the motor here comes on, and we check this to make sure this is working. And it's a little diaphragm that goes in and out on vacuum. Okay. Or it could be electronic, depends on your unit. All right. And it tells the gas valve. The gas valve is the control of everything. So you don't want to go out and change your gas valve right off the hook, right out the gate, because the gas valve is like $300 if you change it yourself. Okay. So we did some troubleshooting, and we pulled this little clip off right here, and we took our voltmeter, just a regular voltmeter, and we put it on ohms resistance. Ours has a little beeper when you're making continuity, and we pull this plug, and on the plug-in part that goes to the over this way to your igniter, we tested the two blue wires, and it did not have continuity. So that means we had a break. So we changed the igniter, and we were good to go. That igniter lasts 3 to 5 years normally in a furnace. So the igniter was bad, so we didn't have to go any further. So once we put everything back together, and to change the igniter on this unit, you just pull this one line and these two bolts there, and you kind of work it out, undo the plug, and you got it out where I could work with it and change the igniter. And what's on the end of this thing is the igniter and the thermocouple, which the thermocouple is good. Okay, so we've got the unit working. So if you would continue on after the igniter would be working, okay, it'll get red hot. You can pull it out and look at it when you turn the heater on. If that's working, and it's a process of elimination, everything else seems to be working, it's probably a valve, the gas valve. Like I said, that's $300, so let's hope it's not the gas valve. Like I said, my situation, it was the igniter. It could be this valve here. This valve is out right here. It's a lot cheaper than the gas valve. Okay, so that's how we did it. And if you have any kind of questions or anything about it, any problems, I'd call a service man to come out and do it if you don't feel comfortable doing it. But just to show you how it works. So it could be the batteries in your thermostat could stop it from working. Although it is sending a signal, it's a weak signal. So first thing you do is change the batteries in the thermostat. Make sure that's working. Hopefully that's all your problem is, your thermostat. If not, it could be one of the components here. All right, that's how we do it here. Repair our furnace. All right, the flame was flickering and popping. And what it was, some spiders had built a nest back into these cones, these fire things. Gas comes out of this and mixes with air and goes all the way to the back to where the heater is. Okay, so what I did, took a wire and I ran it in here. And it had some little spiders that built a nest in there. So what I did after that, cut this little bottle brush. Okay, and it fits perfectly in. It goes perfectly in there, all the way through to the back side. And I cleaned 3 of them. That's all we have on this thing, heater. So now it's not popping, it's doing good. They had a little trash in here. I tapped on this with a screwdriver, evidently it fell down in this pipe. And it's okay now, burning good. But everything looks good. Okay, how we do it here, repair our heater. Okay, what we did, we pulled the burner. I pulled the burners out. Okay, and cleaned them. It really wasn't that dirty. The center one had a lot of soot on it, so like it wasn't burning good. But I cleaned them all real good with a wire grinder. And there's no obstructions in them. And what I did, while I had it out, I got back here to the orifices. Okay, now you don't want to put a metal or anything in there to clean, metal wire or anything. Use a toothpick and you can just try to clean, but I didn't find any kind of dirt. And hopefully this will fix my problem. It wasn't burning all that great. And I have 3 orifices there. Now to pull the burner out, you just undid these 2 screws here, 2 screws here, all 5/16. They had 2 screws on the top. I had to get in there with a wrench. I ended up having to bend this little tab to get it out, to work it out. And there's 2 screws on the bottom. And that's pretty much it. And I just put these screws back in, and there's 2 screws right here to hold your thermocouple and all against the burners. So everything looks pretty good. I don't see any dirt that's causing us to have any problems. I'm gonna look inside that heater box and see if there's anything in there that's out of the ordinary. You have to get a flashlight to do that. But that's how we do it. And we're going to put it back together and see if she's going to run better anyway. Okay, they did have trash in the fire box. A little bit of trash in there. So I hooked a vacuum cleaner. I happen to have a vacuum cleaner that fits in there. And just one of those little bitty old vacuum cleaner. Anyway, we outside right now, by the way. Just an outside air conditioner. So it looks like a little pieces of rust. And hopefully the firebox is still good. That was hopefully this will make it burn better. So what we're going to do, we're going to put it back together and we're going to see how it's going to go.